but they got to keep it thematic. And I think February was the Black Order. Plus, the reason they want to get Valentina and White Widow and characters like that, Red Hulk, there's oftentimes they don't make it explicit, right? Like other Marvel games might have like. Let me pause for a second. Obviously, we recently had the high evolutionary MCU variant. So it's coming, right? But Marvel Snap really hasn't had like an like even during the Marvel season, right? If you go back to November, Miss Marvel was the season pass. It was the Marvel character. The Marvel movie came out in theaters. And while it was obvious and easy to make the connection, it wasn't like it was branded as such. You know what I mean? It wasn't like Marvel Studios presents the Marvels. And like there wasn't ads for that, so to speak, in our game. Um but I say that because Valentina, Red Hulk, White Widow, they're all part of the Thunderbolts, and the movie Thunderbolts, or maybe it's a TV show, I can't remember. Production Thunderbolts just went in, just kind of like started a month ago, maybe. I think they started filming for it, so they're trying to,
Things sneakily, as long as you don't tell anyone. I can show you this. I can show you her. We met on Black Widow. This is Chelsea. I can show. That's on a bell. That means they're shooting. I'll be quiet now.
We're just making a little movie.
Sprinkle the little bit of IP. They're spreading their IP all over us. True, we did. What do y'all know about Zaboomafoo? European, like they can win. Killian Bobby's won a World Cup, but there is something just different about the late stages of the champ. 40 seconds in, they're getting a chance, a really good one. They should have done better. $155. It's a premium mystery variant and like 30 boosters. I'm like, yes, please. The $3 one, exactly. But notice how they, speaking of them shafting us in stealth, notice what they did. They also did the like, normally that vibranium thing is like 2 free rewards, then a paid, 2 free rewards, then a paid, if I'm not mistaken, at least for the first couple stages. I never over the variant now. Oh wait, that's depending on where they put it, that's a quality of life thing that I've been wanting, especially if they've fully expanded it. Yes, I love that. I've said the spotlight, also event cards, like if it was the steampunk event or the winter event, or if we got it from a daily login like the Thor one recently. I've mentioned that. Now I'm kind of curious to see if they went and added it. But I dig that. Oh man, Noel gets another spotlight card. I already have 2 of his, I think. That one's so rowdy. My word, look at his. Oh, dude. This one's cool. I don't have a blob variant at all, so I kind of wouldn't mind. Oh, that's a badass variant. Okay. Whoa, that was weird. It started us at the bottom. All right, before I open one, I want to check that with the. Oh, I haven't played around with that thing they did. Oh, I do have gambas to do too. Damn, that would have been cool though. So that's the next expansion. I've wanted, they did it with Spotlight. Now it'd be really cool if it was specific. They could do one of 2 things. They can have a generic event little thing, and it's just the same for everyone. But it'd be really cool if it was like, a winter variant, steampunk. What was the other one? Cerebro. What about that Thor daily login? Was it this one? If it's from a daily login or an event, boom, so on and so forth. I've also talked about season passes. Like if it came from season pass, which I think is the case with this. So this would have the season pass one. If it was a conquest reward, y'all get away a title, and they put a different one there for some reason. I get him and Beast essentially every shop rotation. Did you not have Corvus? So with your first pull, you got the random. Oh, that's a cheeky ball from Sane. Kane can't get his feet sorted. So I like that they added Spotlight. I do wish they would add other tags for Season Pass, Store, Event. What did I want to look at? Oh, okay. So there's two things to do with these custom cards now. But I really want to talk about the custom borders. I have thoughts on them. So, but first, with this new system, which I think is cool, because remember, anytime it comes to the whole like sharing splits with other variants and stuff like that, I've always wanted more flexibility. Maxie can attest, but I've also said that I think it's really important that they maintain the proverbial chase for elite splits too, right? Like they're like you don't want to make it just like so the short version is I like what they did and how they expanded the whole custom card flexibility today because it still maintains the chase for legit splits, but it gives you more flexibility. And obviously, the simple best part is now you get duplicate protection across variants for that particular character. So that's super dope. Um, Now, because like you can have a case where you might get foil white glimmer, then your next split is prism white glimmer. So you're like, okay, screw that. You go to a different variant, and in the past, you might ultimate tag here. So they've added spotlight and ultimate there, just not like events and stuff. But so you could do foil white glimmer, then you would get prism white glimmer, and you're like, but then you could go to a different variant, and you could have gotten foil white glimmer on that one, and then prism white glimmer, and you're like, now that's not possible. Like now, no split will give me prism and white glimmer again, which is a really great quality of life thing on its own. But then to expand on that, what's cool now is like, what I got this awesome split with this card. We all saw it; it was badass, loved it. And then I've talked about, I need to get a great split with this. Ultimate allows us to come here, and again, I have not gotten 6 split, so to speak, with that yet. But I can do that, and because I got it on a different split, I can at least put gold and white glimmer. I want you to just like get all of them. Like I should be able to put my gold glimmer with my gold background, and that's what I kind of started with the whole chase of a split. Is like this still maintains that. Like if I want gold and gold, I would still need to get a split to get gold and gold. But now, because it's duplicate protection across variants, you're going to get gold and gold in significantly less splits than it would have taken us previously. So that is so dope. Now I can just put this gold white on this as well. That's so fire. And again, I fully expect us to get more and more expansions on this. Like I've also talked about, I think it'd be cool if I wanted a white border for whatever reason, and I wanted to disable 3D and frame break. I should be in like basically set it to a common card. I think that would be cool. That I like what they did. I saw I need to pull them up. Hold on. Go ahead and just do it officially. No, with second key. That was the one you're trying to avoid. What a sick variant though. Really bright. Okay, so I just talked about this concept, custom card. Let's try this patch note again. When editing a custom card, you can now assign, and their terminology going forward is going to be called split combos. And that's kind of what I talked about, where I had a gold background with a white glimmer. Or in the broader example, it's, foil white glimmer is one split combo. Prism white glimmer is one split combo. And previously, you would have to get that for each variant. Now, they're earned on one variant to any other variant artwork. So there's duplicate protection right off the rip from that. Just super dope. As a result, when you infinity split a card, you are guaranteed to not get a duplicate combination per character. That's all fire. Now this next part, initially I didn't like I was okay until I actually read their official patch notes, because it was kind of weird where you could actually log into the game and see these changes like maybe an hour and a half before these notes actually showed up anywhere. But before I got a chance to read these, I was not liking. I'm not gonna lie. I'm an old grumpy guy on the couch, or on the porch, I didn't like collectible borders for one reason. If you know me, you know in all video games across every genre, I love the concept of like earning cosmetics or like core rewards from your progress across your account. So I'll give you an example. It's like if you're playing a Call of Duty type game, getting 50 kills with a gun, 100 kills, 250, 500, 1,000, right? Getting 50 wins, 100 wins, 250, 500. In a card game like this, people know that I've wanted a profile page. I would also like generic stats, like how many matches have I played with the card. Uh, Ideally, we could also maybe get win rate and a couple, but and maybe split a couple of stats. But I've long talked about the concept. If it would be cool, is if you could potentially randomly get a null avatar in one of these, as we know, right? These can give avatars, okay? These caches. My idea forever has been that this you can still get those, but also if you win 100 games with null starting in your deck, let them unlock the avatar, right? Like that, and so that's the generic thing, right? Like it win 100 games, 500 games, and 1,000 could be 3 avatars. And I'm not even necessarily asking that they need to make 3 unique avatars that just are that reward. Although I think if you get 1,000 wins for a card, that should be the only way you get that avatar. Someone shouldn't just randomly pull it in their collectors. But I digress. But you get the concept. Like they don't even need to necessarily make unique ones. If there are 5, 6 null avatars in the game, make it to where you could potentially get one with 50 wins, 100 wins, and 250, whatever the thresholds are. Anyways, I've said that for months, for a year. I think that would be really cool. Again, whether it's unique ones that are highly sought after because they revolve a mastery of that card. Now, of course, if there's an OP deck, you can just jam in Uatu and get the 1,000 wins with. So when I first was reading the collectible borders, I was kind of bummed. Now, my idea has been with like for avatars and things like that that are already in the game. But equally, how cool would it be is if you win 50 games with the card, you got the bronze one. 100 games with it, the silver, 250 gold, 500 wins, platinum. Y'all get it. I've had that for eons. So when I first read that or even before I read the patch notes and I saw that these were in the game, it was one of those like not necessarily participation trophies, but it was kind of like these. Okay, so the neon ones, dope. Sell them, gold. Fuck yeah. If someone wants to buy them, more power to them. But like when I saw these, I was like, these are tailor made to be earned, right? Like X amount of wins. However, then I got to the patch notes and I saw, so okay, collectible borders. Always wanted a gold border to match your gold finish. Isn't that what legendary rarity is? Good news. We've added collectible borders that can be applied on a character level basis. So yeah, you got to give us money for all 200 characters for each one if you want them. We'll be adding more borders. And here's what, okay, I kind of, calm down, Creed, and more ways to earn them in the future. And I sure hope their definition of earning something isn't, oh, I completed my weeklies or my daily challenges, which helped me complete my weeklies, and I got gold, and I'm going to use my gold to buy them. Like, to me, hopefully earning is either playing X amount of games, which obviously would be higher threshold, or winning X amount of games. That's it for now. You can check out the cosmetic shop and each one's custom card interface. Purchase the following borders. And then this is the last main thing. This is dope. We've all talked about here in this channel how much we love when they go back and add the visual and sound effects from what's it called? To past cards. And like 4 months ago, they did that for like a couple weeks in a row, or it felt like, right? Like one patch, it was like, we've added Hela, Odin, Heimdall, and Zola voice lines. And they're super sick, right? Now we've been playing with them for so long, it's kind of hard to remember a time before Apocalypse had a voice line, right? But here's another one, and I'm pumped to hear what they have to say because this could go ham. You know, I've had the idea for Magneto should have dragging animation. Like when you click Magneto, how cool would it be if he swirled like you saw metal? Like think of how like Human Torch has the fire or whatever, but instead of fire, it's like little debris of metal, and it makes it look like he's it's swirling around him as he's moving across the board. I think that would be. Oh, bug fixes, reference tokens. So like I got Mr. Sinister or White Tiger or Doctor Doom bots, right? The Doom bots should now show their own cost and power rather than the stats of the primary card. What's funny is I always assumed that that's how it should work, but it's never worked like that. So I almost thought that it was intended for it not to. And then apparently it's been a bug the whole time. It's dope. I like maybe Matchy and Adlin and y'all, everyone who's been around when I've talked about this. When a card's played, especially with Pixie around and stuff, I would like to see what their cost was. Right? I think it would help, and it's important information sometimes to see how much like energy they might have soaked for She-Hulk, for example, right? But once that card is played on the board, if you click on it, you don't see that it was a 4 cost turned 2. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this is the first step and maybe us getting that quality of life update. All right, let's get into it. Now, are some of these sick? Yeah, but like also, are they? Like, how is this? Okay, that's clearly different than legendary, but am I done? Like, I like that's more gold to me. I mean, maybe in comparison, that's orange, but anywho, I know I'm nitpicking that. I just think that these should have been earnable, straight up. But this looks a lot like Ultra. Hi. Hi. Other than the little like cool little cosm that when they added the custom card. I think that's what they were alluding to when they said, here's the hope and these patch notes go well, whatever. Because the last time they wanted it to be like this. Oh, for sure. I didn't even, because I had so many other things to say about the whole concept. I didn't even want to get into the pricing. I've been talking about the pricing and the rates and the scale of it ad nauseum since this game came out. But I also understand that the scale of digital and like cosmetic things, ever since Fortnite and League of Legends and stuff, were selling like basically solitary skins for $20. Things that used to be 75 cents in a Sims game, like umbrella for my character, used to be like 75 cents. Now that's $2.50, or it's a part of a $15 bundle that you have to buy, and you can't buy the things in Arsenal in this stage of the competition and all that. Like, some teams, some clubs, something about Real Madrid, they just them in this competition. Add a random 6 cost card to your hand, give it -2 cost and -3 power. Got 30 minutes left. I want Valentina or Blob variant. We'll take it. I didn't have a Blob variant in any capacity. Still don't. I'm not a fan of us getting 2 avatars for that. In that capacity, I think it would be so much cleaner if when you got these, they were one entity, and then let's say somebody wants to rock this version, they think this is too big and bold and obtrusive, and they don't, they want to rock this. Fine. Well, have them listed as one entity. You click on this, and then like have like a toggle thing, like boom, and then you could equip the alternate. It's just so cluttered. Sorry, I'm just spitting out quality of life updates or ideas, but this often happens when there's a new patch or an update, because it's like, oh, I've seen y'all taken a step in that direction. Well, some of us have been asking for some of this stuff for like 8 months. Can we get a more of like a hop? Can we hop in that direction? This is such a sick avatar. Maybe one of my favorites in the entire game. Anyways, should we do it? I feel like I need her. Now, this is leaving yourself ripe. You use her on 2. Okay, you get a 6 cost card that you can't use, and presumably until turn 4, unless you have Quinjet. And then they just play Mobius on 3, and you're like, oh, that was cool. Now I just have a 6 cost card that costs 6 costs, and he has 3 less power. Sweet, hell yeah. That. And so you're almost like taking, like you can get a really solid lead in the lane. you know, last thing I'll say about quality of life stuff. We've known I've been talking, speaking of earning things and visually showing earning stuff, how like it would be cool if I could have something that people know, damn, he's won 1,000 games with that card or whatever. I've long been asking for this to be Omega Red, or you know, red like this Omega rank. So this is what we were talking about earlier. So this is a good example. Look, if you look in the store, we have this title, right? Okay. And then down here in the sold, bought, whatever category, there's not one. But there was one. I got it. It's this. Snap on turn 1 or no guts. So I wonder what that was about. Very weird. That whole sequence. Did they think it was too toxic? They didn't like the message it sent, so they yoinked it from the game? Okay, this is another one I wanted to try and make work. A couple months ago, I did. Months ago, somebody, this has happened like maybe 3 times to me, but someone had this really cool Dakin play where they like Dakin and then eventually Arnim Zola the Dakin, so they have 3 shards in their hand, and then they eventually Modoc. So the 2 Dakins now are like big boys, real big boys, right? And honestly, that concept is what inspired my Beta Ray build deck when I bought him with collector's tokens a week ago, right? Zola trying to, you know, Beta Ray build potentially on 4, maybe Zola him, Grandmaster, right? You get the vibe. Bring that up because the Dakin thing had happened. I used it to inspire this. I made this last night. I haven't tried it yet. I don't know if Lady Deathstrike's going to work, but as you can see, the idea is to actually Dakin once, unless I, you know, and then Moon Girl, and then Modoc. So I don't know how that's going to work. I've been playing this nonstop for the last 2 days, and I've been crushing with it. I like gained like 100 thus prizing.